We're going to start from the first word on the top, the middle of the line. Keitzad doisa. How do you do tnufa? Meniach emurim al pisas hayad. He takes the innards, the emurim, and he puts them on his hand. V'chaze v'shoik aleihen. There's a certain order. First the emurim on the bottom, and the chaz and shoik on top. What are you shaking your head? You remember this? No? Just good morning? Okay, good morning. V'chol makom sheyesh halechem milamala. V'chol makom sheyesh lechem halechem milamala. Anytime there's bread, like such as the toida and the nazir, the bread always goes on top. Heicha, where do we see such a thing? Omer apapa b'miluim. The Gemara is going to bring this again, same exact lashon, that by the miluim we find that the bread goes on top. So Mamela, by toida also, the bread goes on top. Now the Gemara goes back to a different question. My time means, why is the chaza on top of the imurim? Eli mishum d'chsiv shoik hatruma v'chazei hatnufa al ishei hachalovim yoviu lahonef tnufa. If, because of the passage that says, I have it over here, I think. Where is it? This one. Oh. No, this guy maybe. No, a different sheet. Yeah. Whatever, I had something else. I'll go upon him, it says, Shagat Truma v'chazei atnufa al ishei hachalovim. The chazei, the breast goes on ishei hachalovim, on top of the imurim. So that's one pasuk. V'ksiv es hachelev al hechazei yivienu. There's another pasuk that says the exact opposite. That the chelev, the good geshmak of fat, goes on top of the chazah, the breast. So which one goes on top of what? Omar Abaya, Ahu de Maisilei Koyim Mibeis Hamidbochayim V'Romilei. The pasuk that says that the chelev goes on the chazah is talking about. So as the Gemara is going to describe, there's three koyanim. The first koyan takes the fat, puts it on top of the breast. So he's holding it with the fat on the breast, and he goes to the next koyan and he gives it to him. So when he gives it to him, it flips over. He flips it into his hands. So then you have the chelev underneath the chazah. Now wait a minute. How could that be? How could the fat be underneath the breast that says that the chelev is on top of the chazahs? So the Gemara, Kohen number 2, who has the fat underneath, and he does tenufa. Now he gives it over to Kohen number 3, and he also has to flip it. Now he flips it right back, right side up. So the chelev now is on top of the chazah, and that Kohen number 3 goes and he's makriv. That you need 3 kohanim, mishum d'chsiv, b'rov hadras melech. It says in Tehillim.
If you look at the Brisa, it says, Meniach emur ha'sisa sayad, because of the sharkalayim. Sorry, the Meniach, he's receiving it.
He's asking on the word Meniach.
In the first kohen.
I hear. Because that's talking about Stage 2. Stage 2, he's not Meniach. Well, maybe the kohen is Meniach. He is Meniach. The first guy is being Meniach into the second guy's hand. Akopanim, it says, Barov am hadras melech. And this is a yesod that we have in general in all halachas, that the more the merrier when it comes to halachas. So like, for instance, Kiddush, you're supposed to do, that's why a lot of people listening. I was at somebody's house once and he said, does anybody want to make their own Kiddush? And the guy goes, yeah. He goes, okay, so you can leave. We do Barov am hadras melech here. Okay, fine. Barov am.
You said that. That's why it's just a little dark with a lot of people.
Oh, Barov am hadras melech. Very good.
From here we see 3.
The what?
From here we see 3 is Rav.
Right. 3 is Barov am hadras melech.
Why Daf over here? They're teaching us that halacha. That's
No,
why Daf here.
You mean why do we use 3 kohanim?
No, why Daf?
We use 3 kohanim. Once we use 3 kohanim, because we're using 3 kohanim. What's the point of using 3 kohanim? Take one kohen, let him do tnufa, let him bring it to the mizbeach. It's givaldik. Why do you have to involve other people here? The point is baravam.
Muslim places where there's a lot more people, everyone's shaking a little bit. And for here we learn that Klai, so the whole Klai comes together. Roivam. For here we have 3 kohanim. It's a very
because it's not necessary. Because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. One guy could do all 3 jobs. Shaking the lulav, you can't do it. Everybody, but over here, one guy can do it for everybody.
Just give an example.
I got it. No, I got what you're saying. Yeah. It's interesting. This is a halacha that.
One guy can't do it by himself. Rashi said one guy can't do it. The belav shloisha lo mishkachas lehabchei kulehai. You can't control such a situation.
You can't flip it because the Torah says you have to flip it. So the Torah, right now that the Torah says you have to flip it, the Torah says you should do it with 3. I mean, now it becomes more of a chiyuv.
It's not a reason to burn about Machshvach. It's a technical reason.
But why did the Torah make it a technical reason? Because of Royam.
You can't flip it without 3. It's not because of Royam. You can't flip it. You want to flip it, you got to flip it. You can't flip it.
But what's the point of flipping? There's no Indian of flipping.
What's the reason why we told him to flip it?
Because you have to flip it. Because when
Why do
you have
to
it,
flip it?
not because it's halacha and flipping.
אם הטעם לכך שצריכים 3 כהנים ומשום ברוב המהדרס מלך, והייס צריך התורה לכתוב בספירוס בפסוקים, שמהם נובעים כן. That's another question. That's another question.
Yeah, okay. Weiter. No, but you bring up a good point because we learned Masechtas together and we never had this halacha, even though it could apply in many different places. Here, this is the makar of this halacha. Berov am hadras melech, you should do things unless you're Hasidish, make kiddush with a lot of people, or they like to make kiddush themselves. Fine. Ushtei alechem, ushtei kivsei atzeres. Interesting. There's 4 shitas how you do this, the tenufa. What goes where? Where do you put the bread? Does the bread go on top of the sheep, or does the sheep go on top of the bread, flattens it out like a pancake, or maybe the bread goes in between the sheep's legs, or maybe it goes shitas. How to do it? So what does it say first? It says ala lechem habikurim. It should go on top of the bread. So it seemed like that the sheep go on top of the bread. That it should go on top of the sheep. So maybe the bread should go on top of the sheep. So what's going on here? It says the Gemara nishtaki lakosov. The pasuk is shakol. It's even. In other words, we have a pasuk to each way. It can go both ways, and they're contradictory. What is it? Just like we said earlier, that the bread is always on top. Where do we say such a thing? Fine. So since we find by miluim that the bread is on top, so over here, when we don't know what the pasuk really means, because the pasuk could mean that the sheep is on top of the bread, which would be kind of weird. You have a 200-pound sheep on top of a loaf of nice hot bread. It'd be a little interesting. Plus, it'd be a little disgusting. So, Mela, shita number 1 is the bread goes on top. What?
The top of the sheep also not disgusting.
It's on top of the fur. It's on top of the yeah, it is. I'm going to say in a second. Yeah. I didn't make this up. This area, like the bottom of his leg, where I don't want to say what he steps on, that goes on the bread. That's a little. But on his woman, we're getting there. Whoa, hold on.
Clean off on it.
Yeah, that's what they make your tzitzis out of, my friends. It's good stuff. So we have shita number 1, afkan lechem lamala. Rabbi Yosef ben Shulam Moimer, fasim lamala. No, the sheep goes on top of the bread. Umani mikayim them, but we have a problem. The pasuk says the bread is on top of the sheep. Umani mikayim al shnei kfasim. Lohoitzi shiva. So here's the pasuk. I don't know if anybody could. You guys see it back there? Yeah, you can read it. No, you can't read it. You guys read it. Okay, fine. So I'll read it for you. You bring 2 breads, that's in the yellow up here. It says whatever. With these 2 breads, you bring 7 sheep. I'm just giving you some sort of background, because there's 7, there's 2. What's going on here? So the first pasuk Yochai says that you bring 7 sheep, and in yellow and red over here I highlighted, it's a oila. These 7 sheep are oila. Then the pasuk continues, Vasisem sirizim echel chatos, ushnei kvasim. That's the 2 kvasim that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. Shnei kvasim v'rishona shlamim. The 2 sheep are shlamim. The 7 sheep are oila. And then it says, v'heinif al alechem, and then you do tnuva with the bread, habikurim, al shnei kvasim. So what's the bread? The bread goes with what? Al shnei kvasim. So he's saying, don't ask me a question that it says you should put it on the 2 sheep. No, the 2 sheep go on it. So why does it say on the sheep? Lafuke, the 7 sheep. Doesn't mean on, literally. It means that the bread should go with the 2 sheep that are shlamim and not on the 7 sheep that are oila. Zog the Gemara. Oh, yeah, I need my thing. Yeah. Anino ben Chachanai oim. Anino shtei alechem ben Yachusayim shel kvasim u'meinif. He takes the 2 breads and puts it between the keves's thighs. U'meinif. Now, if you need to visualize this,
Nah, that's not enough.
there's a bread here. Look, there's even a bread. Could you see it back
I
there?
thought, but that's underneath. It's supposed to be on top, right?
No, listen. It's on top of the leg, but it's also under this leg. So it's the
That's what it's
top.
supposed to be.
Yes, that's why I wanted to visualize
The
it.
sheep is upside down.
The sheep, you put him on his side, on his musnaim,
Put that like that.
and then you put the bread right over here, so it's on the leg, but it's also underneath the leg, the other leg.
On top of that.
Here, Yeshua, you can take this picture
Squash
around.
the bread
People want to
between the
see.
legs.
And the guy even has a yarmulke, Rabbi Yisai. And he's wearing tchelis. Look, he's wearing tchelis.
But so the top leg is squashing the bread. Is that, it kicks down. No, they don't take the leg. Rabbi Stefansky.
Yeah.
The top leg is squashed.
It doesn't have to be squashed, but it means it's on top.
They
It
don't
hovers
squash the
over.
bread between the 2 legs.
No. Zog the Gemara, v'ninsa mekayim shnei amikrois halalu.
And then the
It comes out-
after that.
Avad, it's geschmack stuff. So it comes out that you're being mekayim the 2 psukim, that it's on top of the sheep and it's on the bottom of the sheep. Lechem agabe kvasim, kvasim agabe alechem. Omar Rebbe, so says Rebbe, this is everybody's question. Lifnei melech basav adam in oisim kein. Would you dare give a king a piece of bread that touched a sheep's thigh? It's disgusting. How could you think about such a thing? So what he says, it was very sterile and actually never touched the sheep. It's next to the sheep. So it's even better than the first sheep that was on top of the sheep. It's next to the sheep.
That was the Menachos Nashim. Kept it clean.
Oh. No, this is everybody's mincha. Al. It says in the pasuk al. How could you ignore the word al, which means on top of? Rebbe holds that the word al is next to. Does anybody remember a Gemara that we had 40 days ago? Even less. 35 days ago. Al b'samuch. Mamish, these words. We had such a Gemara. When it had to do with that the Ivarim go on the wood. Al b'samach, does it have to be on top of the wood or next to the
Was it
wood?
Rebbe who said that over there also?
I don't think so. Maybe. Rebbe the Tamei Doma, I don't remember.
Somebody else took his Joshua.
Al b'samach. Yeah, it could be. Look it up. It's enough chavavam and days. If anybody's more, he wants to know if it's Rebbe. He doesn't have a chavavam and days.
It sounds like a very unique Joshua. So Rebbe said it probably.
The sign of Nosato al hamareches levoina zako. Now, where does the spoonfuls of levoina, where do they go? So Rabbi Omer al b'samach is not literally on top of the breads of the lechem aponim. They go next to it, on a shelf somewhere next to it. Ata Omer al b'samach oyeino elo al mamash. Who told you that it goes next to? Maybe it literally means on top of the bread. Shu Omer v'sakoisa ala orin es haparoiches. What's the paroiches? The paroiches is the divider, the wall that goes between the Kodesh HaKadoshim and the Heichal. A wall is a vertical thing, and yet it says that it's on top of the Aron, which is horizontal. So it doesn't make sense. Havi Omer al b'samach, so it means the wall is next to the Aron, rather over the Aron. So Memela over here also, al means next to the keves and not on top of the keves. Zog the Gemara moilech umevi malu moirid. what do you do with this? How does tnufa work? You take the animal, you take whatever part of the animal, you go forwards and backwards, up and down. Now over here Rashi points out right away that moilchu mevi doesn't mean up and right and left. It says, or forwards and backwards. It says litzofin dare mizrach ma'ariv. So Rashi over here already points out what we do in all directions. Because when you would read the Gemara, you would think moilchu mevi, one time this way and finished. And the story says Rashi, no. The Arishonim that argue with him and say it's literally once forwards and backwards and that's it. But Rashi here says it's all four ruchos. They seem to say, listen, lemisha ruchos shaloi, you're doing it to the ruchos, you don't have to go in all directions. There's only one owner of the ruchos, and once you do a movement towards him, towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's all you need to do. You don't need to go to all his ruchos. Malo moirid lemisha shomayim v'aretz shaloi. So we go up and down to show that we believe that the shomayim v'aretz is his. B'marov v'masnuhachi, Omer Rav Chama bar Ukva, Omer Rav Yosi bar Rabbi Chanina, moilechu mevi. Why do you go forwards and backwards? Kedei la'atzer ruchos rois, to ask that there shouldn't be bad winds like in Florida today. Malo u'moirid telolim roim. You go up and down to stop the bad dew, which is bad waters, also in Florida. Omer Rav Yosi bar Avav and Zoysim Meres. Shiyore mitzvah ma'akivim sapuranos. The leftover of the mitzvah, the tnufa, which is not ma'akiv even, it's not even that essential to the mitzvah, and you do it, that could help you with bad storms. Kavachaymer, of course, the actual mitzvah itself, the main part that is ma'akiv, how much it helps. The ha tnufa shiyore mitzvahi. But it says ruchis rois utlalim roim. Omar Rabba v'chein lulav. Lulav is similar to the carbon. Why today in shul we go like this with the lulav is because lulav is similar to the tnufa of a carbon. V'chein lulav. So there's actually a big machlokes in the Rishonim here. If like I said before, if you need to go in all directions or just two directions. But the question also is, do you need to shake it like a lulav? Does the lulav actually have to shake? Now, if you learn it out from a carbon, there's no shaking of the carbon. The carbon was a solid thing. You don't shake it. It doesn't move. Right? So then where do we get the shaking? But the Gemara in Sukkah says that a lulav has to be 4 tefachim. You need extra tefach for shaking. K'dei nanua. So it seems like there is a shaking. So there's a shayla in the Rishonim if there's really a point to make the leaves move, or you could just go straight without moving them. Some people do that also, I've noticed.
According to Rashi, it's only it's not up and down. Only maybe.
No, but the Gemara says Melchu maybe.
Yeah, but look up.
In Sukkot,
a little further up. No, but the Lord is
Look a little further up.
You see from here.
There was 2 parts, no?
The Yisoid is from here, not from the Lulav. So how did they get the shake?
Oh, you're saying in.
Shake the sheep, right?
I hear. I don't think Rashi means literally. Right, but Gershon, I hear what you're saying. I hear your diuk. I just think Rashi means what point in the Gemara v'chein? V'chein what? That the chaylev is on top of the lulav. That what? We're talking about tnufa. How much? I don't think he's going into exactly.
I used to go to a shtibu, the Rebbe.
Right.
Sukkot, he writes before.
Right.
He had a shaky lulav, you know those shaky, the open.
No, because you could also say v'chein lulav. What are we talking about?
Like that.
We're talking about ruchis roim, tlalim roim. V'chein lulav. What? That it's for ruchis roim. It's for tlalim roim. It's for
things.
So Rashi says v'chein lulav. The concept, going back to even before that, the concept of moving the lulav. How much? I don't think Rashi is going into how much and where. Just
What's the makar for the shaking of the lulav, like the shaking?
The shaking of the lulav is the makar, is like a carbon. Tnufa of the.
Tnufa, we didn't shake.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I was talking about. The shaking of the leaves. The Gemara in Sukkah says it has to be 1 tefach more of the adas. Kedei nanua means shaking. Why? Well, there's a Rishonim that say there is no one. That's exactly what I said. Where were you like 2 minutes ago?
You're talking about the shaking of the Rebbe. The point is.
That's what
What would
happens.
come out with the Meisner?
That there's a machlekes rishonim if you have to actually shake the leaves or not.
And according to the tzad that says, yeah, why are they saying it?
Why did the Gemara over there in Sukkah say you need
Yeah.
to do nanua? Lay it down. Something else, a new halacha.
They're adding in another.
Fine.
thing.
Zog the Gemara. Rav Acher Bar Yaakov Mamtelei Umaisilei, he would move the lulav forwards and backwards. Umachvei Hachi. It seems like from the Gemara that he would take the lulav and put the bottom of the lulav by his chest and point the lulav that way. V'omar, and he would say Gira Beina the Sitna, and he'd say this is an arrow in the eye of the Satan. What does machve mean? He would literally show the arrow in the eye of the Satan.
Dangerous to say that.
V'la milsi, and it's not a good thing to do. It's a warning. Don't try this trick at home. Mishum da osi leizgaruye bay. You might provoke the Yetzer Hara. You don't want to say things like that to the Yetzer Hara.
Don't mess around with
Where?
Kedushin Chavtes getting married less than 18. He said, I got married less than 18, I could
Right.
hope to something.
If I would have gotten married even younger,
Chazara.
Was it the same one?
forget about it. That would
What?
Was it the same one we said it? I don't remember that.
Different-
I remember
different
it was the
people.
same person.
Different people.
Wait a minute. Time out. Look at me. Who says it here? Yeah, you're looking inside. That's it. I just wanted to see if you chap. Zara.
Same person.
It's not. Okay, fine. I don't remember. Akoponem, it says it's not a good thing to provoke the Yetzer Hara, because if you provoke the Yetzer Hara, he could get back at you. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and he could be machshel you if he wants. So you have to be careful. Tana Rabbanon. Zivchei Shalmi. No, but there's another Gemara that says something about not provoking the Yetzer Hara. B'shas sakana. If it's sakana, whatever. He has rishos to do certain things.
That's not provoking.
not to walk in the
That's not
shop.
provoking. It's not a question of provoking. It's just a question of when the Satan was released, then don't go
No,
outside
that's
at
not
night.
okay.
It's a different question.
Yeah.
It's a different question.
Tana Rabbanon. Zivchei Shalmi tzibur tunim tnufa la'achar shchita. So we have. I better have that. Where's that one? Oh.
That's what's provoking.
Didn't say he has to have a yarmulke.
What?
Didn't say he has to have a yarmulke. He also had to add a
He's a
yarmulke.
kohen. He's a kohen with the red, with the begadim.
Have respect for him.
Okay, weiter, he's saying, with 10 minutes. So we have the shlomim, zivchei shalmi tzibur, that need tnufa when? La'achar shchita. It happens after the shchita. Utnufason kemoisheim. How much do you wave? The entire animal. As is Divri Rebbe. V'chachamim oimrim b'chazav v'shoik. Chachamim say only the thigh and the breast. B'maiko mifligi, where's the machlokes? Amar le Rav Chizda, Rav Nuna, v'amar le Rav Nuna, Rav Chizda. Bidun mino umino, bidun mino v'uki ba'asra. Komifligi. Very simple. We want to learn out this rabbim from Yochid. Over here we know Tnufa. And we know how much Tnufa. It says over here, Lahanif Chazeh Shoik. Okay, you see it? If you don't see it, trust me, in the yellow it says Chaz and Shoik. Fine. So we know by Yochid, that's what it is. And we're going to try to learn Rabbim, this guy, from here. The question is, how much do you learn? Do you learn the concept of Tnufa and then you stop? Doimina, you learn one thing and finished. How much? Over here you'd have to do the whole animal in Rabbim. Why? Because in Rabbim there's two Tnufas, one before and one after. So before is the whole animal. So continue with the whole animal. Or no. Doimina, I'm going to learn from Yochid, Umina, and then I'm going to continue learning more. That what? Just like over here it's Chaz v'Shaik, so over here also it's Chaz v'Shaik. So basically simple. Doimina, I learn from it. Do I stop or I continue learning all the halachas out of it as well? Says the Gemara.
Is the Yochid learning from the Rabbim or the Rabbim is learning from
The Rabbim is learning from the Yochid. You didn't see? I went like this one is from this one, from that one. Like you got a little. Okay, fine. You should learn from it and continue to learn from it. Just like the Yachid requires Tnufa after it's dead, so to Tzibur. And just like Yachid, it says Mefurish in the Pasuk Chazin Shaik. So to Tzibur is also only Chazav Shaik. You learn from it and then you stop. You learn from it that there's Tnufa after Shchita, but how much? And you stop and you only learn from itself. Rashi doesn't go that. Fine.
Then what comes out? How much do you do?
Only you do the whole thing, because you learn from itself, and itself is the whole thing. Baba Mar. What?
Minus the down.
Okay, whatever you have, whatever you could. Baba Mar, and minus the hole that he created.
Does the Chazal Shaykh
In the neck.
Shami Tzibur, where does it go?
What?
Chazal Shaykh Shami Tzibur, where does it go? What's the Kohen?
Yeah. Baba Mar, the Kuli Amadu Mino. Everybody agrees that you learn everything out of Yachid. The Rebbe, so why does Rebbe say that you do the Tnufa on the entire animal and not like the Yachid? If you're learning from the Yachid, it should only be Chazav Shaykh, Ki Hasam. Says Rebbe, we have to learn the svara behind it, not just take things and like a parrot, imitate the Yachid. What's the reasoning? Why did the Torah say that this Chazav Shaykh? Because Mahasam Davish Matana Lekayin. The Chazan Shaykh go to the Kayin. Avacha Davish Matana Lekayin. Over here, the whole thing goes to the Kayin by the Tzibur. So in Mela, the whole thing has to have Tnufa. Ravina says everybody agrees to the concept that you only learn one thing. Mela, what? It should be the entire thing should have Tnufa. So why the Rabbanan say you don't do the entire thing, you do only Chazav Shaykh? Shal Mehem Riboyu. So in this pasuk it says all the way at the end, Shal Mehem, it should say Shlamav or whatever, it's Yachid, we're talking about Yachid. Shal Mehem comes to be Mariba. Now what? Only Chazav Shaykh.
The reason why the Tzibur is learning from Yachid is because it says the Yachid first.
Why are we learning it? I don't know why we're learning. You mean
the other way around? How come we're not learning Yachid from the Rabbi? Is it because
no, because there's no Knufa. There's no Knufa at all. There's no Knufa at all by the Tzibur after Shechita. So the concept of Knufa after Shechita is by Yachid, and I want to learn that concept out of it. Says the Gemara. Now we're going to have word for word what we had in the Mishnah, like I don't know how many lines this is. So we had it yesterday. We're going to do Chazara. Reb Shimon Omer, Shloisha minim tuunim shloisha mitzvahs. There's three types of karbanos that have three mitzvahs to them. But each carbon only gets 2 out of the 3 mitzvahs, and we leave off 1. Shtayim bekol ach echad ushlishis ein bahem. Beiluen, these are the Zivrei Shalmei Yachid. First carbon is this guy, the Shalmei Yachid. V'Zivrei Shalmei Tzibur, this guy. V'Hasham Mitzayra, I don't have a piece of paper for that. The Hasham Mitzayra. Says the Mishnah, Zivrei Shalmei Yachid tu'unim smicha chayim. When you're talking about the shlamim of an individual, it requires smicha when it's alive. And as we said, smicha is always when it's alive. But it requires smicha, that's the point. And one tnufa, when utnufa shchutim, only after it is shechted, you do tnufa, you wave it in all directions.
What's happening now? Like a quiz? Like what is like a summer?
You mean, why did he say in such an interesting way? What's he trying to point out? The Irish. What they said, he's trying to make a point. That I think what they say is, if I remember correctly, that don't think that you just add extra, that each one gets 3. You only get 2 out of the 3. As the Gemara is going to say, this Kavachomers to maybe say you should get 3. His point is 2 out of the 3. That's it.
Just a little simony. Remember, there are 3 karbonos, there are 3 mitzvahs. You just have to remember which
yeah, it's not so easy to remember because each one has something that the other one doesn't have. Fine.
They learned this because they learned printing.
It's a memory technique. Fine. What don't they have out of the 3? They don't have tnufa when they're alive. This we said. Shalmei Tzibur get, the pasuk talks about before they're shechted, and we learned that shechted from Shalmei Yachid. But there is no smicha on the Tzibur. Hashamatzoyer ton smicha utnufa. The Matzoyer gets tnufa when it's alive. On what part of the body does it get tnufa when it's alive? Because of shaykh. Okay, just wanted to see if you're paying attention. It's alive, so it's the whole body. Ve'ein by tnufa shachot, and it doesn't get tnufa when it's dead. Now, that's it. That's the Mishnah. So we cheated a little. We just did 8 lines that we learned yesterday. So simple, the simplest kavachomers on earth. The Gemara wants to know how come a yachid that brings a shlamim, he doesn't have tnufa when it's alive. If you're going to learn, let's learn from Shami Tzibur. Shami Tzibur does have tnufa when it's alive, so Shami yachid should also. Tzibur doesn't have smicha, but it has tnufa when it's alive, so certainly Shami yachid. Since Shami Yachid gets smicha, and it did should do tnufa chaim. So certainly should have tnufa chaim.
Where do you read that? Was mazif for Shami Tzibur she'etu smicha
Chaim. Tu'unim tnufa chaim. Kama after the chaim. Tu'unim tnufa chaim.
Of course, smicha is chaim. When would you do smicha?
That's what I said before. Smicha means chaim. There's only smicha when it's alive. It's just.
It's really only 2 possibilities.
Maybe because it talks about tnufa chaim and tnufa dead, so it says smicha chaim. Whatever, exactly. Very good.
It's only really possible 2 because one is either you have it before death or after death. The 3 things aren't really 3 things because it's smicha,
Yeah, which is alive.
which is alive, or tnufa, which can either be shkutim or could be
Right.
chaim. So it's
Yeah.
either smicha and tnufa mechaim.
No, it could be 2 tnufas. 2 tnufas. Zivchei Shami Tzibur has 2 tnufas. Once when it's alive, once when it's dead. You have, each one has 2 out of the 3. Zivchei Shami Yochid Shedurim Smicha Chaim and Edish Durim Tnufa Chaim. Did I skip now? Mi Rachmana Gav Zivchei Shami Tzibur Oisam. Oisam Lumuta Zivchei Shami Yochid. Fine, so we have a miut that it only gets 2. Now, next Halacha. How come the Shami Tzibur don't get smicha? They're so weak that you don't have to do tnufa when they're alive. Yet tunim smicha, they still get smicha. Shami Tzibur that does require tnufa when it's alive, so it's more chamor. So certainly it should have smicha. Because it's more chamor, Amar Ravina, Gemirish, they smichos b'tzibur. Says Ravina, there's a halacha Moshe Sinai that there's only two karbanis that are tzibur that get smicha, which are the sir la'azazel and par helam davar. How come the Gemara doesn't bring the par kohen gadol? Oh, okay, fine. Just checking. The Olam is up and awake today. Givaldik. And now, yes. Want to make sure that the Olam is not klutzing. Yes, klutz kashas. Says the Gemara, last kavachomer. The Asham Mitzoyer should require tnufa when it's dead. Mekavachomer. Maziv cheshami yochid. Shein tnufa chayim tnufa shchutim. The Shalmei Yochid requires Tnufa when it's dead. Asham Mitzoyer should don't Tnufa Chay and it didn't should don't Tnufa Shachot. If Mitzoyer requires Tnufa when it's alive, it certainly should require when it's dead. And fine. So bottom line is, Reb Shimon says you only get 2 out of 3, and he has miyutim for each and every one, or halacha Moshe Sinai, and that's why you don't have any kavachomers. Yeah. There's an amazing chart in the art scroll that goes through 12, 13, I don't know how many, each one, what requires smicha. I wanted to do a chart, I wanted to cheat and do my own chart and pretend that I was going to do it, I ran out of time.
I think you need to tell like an instrument or something.
We're not finished. Tana Rabbanon. Chamisha she'eviu korban echad. We're learning Taisis, by the way.
Let's go, man. Put a chart.
We're doing Taisis.
They don't have a picture of a challah between the legs of a sheep. So.
Tana Rabbanon. Chamisha she'eviu korban echad. 5 people bring 1 korban. Who does the tnufa? What's the problem?
Mention tonight what's the schedule.
Oh, Right now, we'll talk about it for a second. Tonight, whoever wants to chap a free meal at Kendig Shever Brachas, since he's paying for it. No. Yeah, no, I was mishtatif as my share, so I'm hoping that some of the people will come, otherwise it's going to be a big bus. You better come. You all should come. He charged me the same amount that cost. Yeah, I know, but so grab a meal and go to Zlatis' wedding, but you have to come and chap. So tonight at Viola, there's a Shever Brachas for Kennig.
Where's Viola?
Whoever you invited, whoever came to my share. If you came to my share once, you're invited. The Thursday night share, not this morning share.
8:45 share to 9:30, 9:30.
There's a Chazar share in Hebrew from 8:45 to 9:30.
Everyone's gonna stop.
We did it once before. Yeah, before the Shever Brachas. Basically, it's just a way to get people to come. He's hoping nobody's going to show up to my shir, and then everybody will be there. At 9:30, the event starts. Yeah. 8:45. You know when to come. At 9:30.
You gonna do live?
Live? Oh, maybe. Oh, no, where's that? It's in Hebrew. Fine. In Viola. What's Viola? Reichman?
Reichman's true.
Reichman's true.
The middle of Surah.
Bnei Yeshivas. Chamisho she'eviu korban echad meiniv al yidei kulam. So we have two problems here. If you have 5 people, how are they going to do tnufa? Like we mentioned yesterday, what's the problem in 5 people doing tnufa? The problem is chatzitza. You can't touch hands. You can't be underneath somebody else's hand. So maybe you should do, each person should do tnufa, put it down, let the next guy lift it up. That would be a problem of tnufa and not tnufais. It says that you should only do one tnufa, not. So what do? One of them is a shliach for everybody else, and he does it for them. Va'isha koyimene fayada, like we had yesterday, a woman that brings a carbon, the koyin does it for her. V'chein hashliach karbanosim b'dinas hayam koyimene fayada, doesn't mention anything about the guy, but the koyin does for everybody else. Have a great day. Have a great winter. We are on a 5-month stretch now. These are Hashem.